Hello, today's Thursday, November 14th, 2024, and I am Jason Shapiro from crowdedmarketreport.com. So I think yesterday and today, the plot certainly thickened. In yesterday's video, I mentioned how I thought yesterday was a news failure in the stock market. I have mentioned for about a week now how I thought this idea that people had that there's no way anything could go down now. Even the bears are saying this now. There's no way anything could go down, at least into the new year, was dangerous. But that I didn't think shorting was a great idea until you got some market confirmation. Well, yesterday was market confirmation, particularly in the Russell, which is particularly where the most speculation clearly is since the election. And of course, we had a very important thing in my eyes yesterday when Dan Nathan, who has been bearish for 2 years, and has been shorting things for 2 years, came out and said that right now it was a bad idea to have any kind of naked shorts in the market. That's scary. And quite frankly, I shorted some right on that. And I put it right on my Discord, right where I shorted it. Then today, we had some numbers come out. PPI was a little stronger, which has quite frankly not been bearish, the stock market. A little stronger, it's like the whole Goldilocks thing. And what happened was the bonds, as you see, came off at first, and then they rallied. Why was the long end rallying on stronger PPI? I've spoken about this numerous times. I have continually for the last few months thought rate cuts were bearish the long end because you're cutting rates into a strong economy. You're cutting rates into a very liquid economy, and that's bearish long end, given that the long end discounts future inflation and growth, not like the short end. So that's why I think bonds went up. Now they sold off late in the day, and the short end certainly sold off a lot late in the day. Now this was because our friend Powell came out here and said some pretty hawkish things. All of a sudden he's backing down on the need to cut rates, and you can see he's getting sort of aggro towards Trump a little bit too. He doesn't want to play the Trump game. And he can rug pull it if he wants. And he sort of rug pulled it a little bit today. We'll see how much it follows through, but certainly the short end got smashed on that, as it should have. And the long end didn't get hit as much as it shouldn't have. Because like I say, the less chance of cutting rates into this environment, the better it is for the long end. Because the long end doesn't have to keep discounting in more inflation and more growth. And other interesting things today, the currencies, okay, which we also know everybody is really hating on now. The number came out, stronger US number. The euro went down on that and then rallied. And I have talked about this many times. If we're looking for a news failure, if we're looking to say, oh, strong US numbers, but the dollar went down, that's a news failure. We do not do this midway through the day. This will fake you out so many times. It will just be so painful. You have to wait until the end of the day. And by the end of the day, it had given it up. And certainly after the Powell thing, it gave it up even more. But we have to wait for the end of the day. The only times I don't do it at the end of the day is if I see that people are super short something and I'm looking to get long on a piece of bad news. The bad news comes out and the thing gets crushed. I might pick up a little bit there just to try and get a better average cost if in fact we do get a news failure, and with very little risk down there. I'll pick up maybe 10% of my position and add to it as the day goes on if it starts going in my favor. But it's very little risk there, and it gives me a much better average cost, so I can put on more size if the trade ends up being confirmed. But going straight up, I'm not going to chase that. You do not chase that early in the day. I see it all the time. Fake news failure. It's a trap. And that's exactly what went on today in all the currencies, right? Swiss did it too, right? Aussie did it too, right? Canada didn't even try, okay? But again, important lesson there. How not to do news failure. You got to wait until the close, right? So that was interesting. I am looking for a place to get short dollar, but this isn't it. I don't think we are crowded enough just yet. We have to be patient with this, right? The Aussie certainly is not crowded, but the ones I'm looking at are the Canada, which is not fully there. I need this red line to go all the way up here. Now, it might get there this week. We'll find out tomorrow because the thing has been going down. The euro is not fully there. The Swiss is not fully there, but they're getting close, okay? So we'll find out the data tomorrow, and then we will look for news failure should it be there. don't think it's there yet. But let's see. So those were really the main themes today. I think, I guess we'll find out tomorrow how much of a game changer this was with the Powell thing, and more importantly, how the market's going to react to that game changer. It clearly did not react well today, right? If you look at what stocks did, I mean, this was when Powell spoke, right? This was when Powell spoke. Half the loss today came just since he spoke, right? We were weak all day. The NASDAQ was the weakest index all day, which indicated that, the short was good. But let's see what happens tomorrow, because we got a lot of news tomorrow. We had this AMAT earnings come out after. Supposedly it beat. I heard a great line on CNBC today. The guy said something like, everything we see is positive for AMAT after the earnings. Everything they see. They didn't see that the stock was down 4%, I guess, after hours. It's like the old line, right? Everything looks great except the stock. Okay, well, that's what we trade. So I think you got to be careful here. I really do. Bitcoin also, I mean, is the other one that I consistently hear, that there's no way it can go down for now. Well, again, that always rings a bell to me, as I've talked about every day this week. When I start hearing there's no way, I start thinking that there's probably a way, right? Great interview today, which was with Besant, who is, it seems highly likely going to become the Treasury Secretary. He was a very successful hedge fund manager. I would check it out. It's on YouTube. He was being interviewed. And he said a lot of really good things. It's not about him predicting what's going to happen. It's about him talking some really good things about trading. And he says, there is no definite. And when he starts to hear definite, he's looking to go the other way. That's what I'm saying here. It seems to me that everybody is convinced that we definitely can't go down in stocks, at least till the beginning of the year. We definitely can't go down in crypto, at least till the beginning of the year. You start hearing definitely, you start seeing the tape do the opposite, like it started to do yesterday. And you got to start really paying attention, right? Because the tape is starting to tell you, all right? So that's the thoughts here today. Always happy to hear questions and comments. Please like the video. If you liked it, please check us out, contrariantrading.com. Join our Substack. It's free, okay? And we will talk again soon. Thank you.